presents Driving with Luke. This video forms part of the practice guide Travelling with Luke, featuring Bob Bowen. First, Bob talks about redirection and using this skill coupled with the Safe Escort.
That is the best skill that we've got. Okay. If we try to restrain him, it's going to be very, very difficult. He's so strong. So redirecting him with a turn step, I think, is the key, and then making sure that we maintain that calming presence with our vocalizations.
And he responds so well already to that.
Yeah.
So it's not going to
So
be him.
question.
He's not going to feel under threat, I don't believe.
Could you practice this with Luke? Could you say, Luke, there may be some times when we have to use the escort, and would have one hand on your arm and one hand on your hip. Can I do that, Luke? Would you do that?
You can only ask him. I think, yeah, he would.
Yeah.
At the
I think he would too.
Yeah, at the right time and the right moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would.
Yeah.
And especially if he knows Key and I are the only ones who can drive the van
That's
at the
right.
moment. So we need to do this with you before we can go on a drive.
Yeah.
He'll get that easily.
Yeah.
So I would do that. Okay. So I'd with Luke practice that, and then say, Luke, so if you're Luke, I'd say, Luke, is it better if my hand is right here, or better if my hand is right here?
Yeah.
Where should I put my hand? You tell me where the safest is. And that way it gives him what's called stimulus control.
Yeah.
He controls the stimulus, and when you do that, you get safety. So, I definitely practice that. And there are other programs that will teach the escort as being this, that you put a hand like this, but that causes some discomfort, doesn't it?
It's in your shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's so restrictive.
Yeah, it's just, there's no freedom of movement in that. Not just Luke, I want everyone to have freedom of movement.
When we're redirecting Luke, it's important to maintain a calming voice and soothing presence. We can practice with Luke with one hand on his arm and one hand on his hip. Now let's talk about getting out of the van.
Okay? Getting out of the van. Are there situations where you might physically have to prompt him to get out of the van?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say almost definitely not, because it's going to be getting into
That's right.
out of the car at home.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get out, he can stay in there for as long as he needs to.
That's right. Yeah.
And when he gets to a destination, he's not going to stay in the van.
No.
Because he's where he wants to get to.
Now, there are in the protocols what to do if there's a flat tire. And if you have to jack the tire up, the car up, the van up, to take he can't stay in the van. Okay? That's the only situation where I can think of that he has to get out of the van.
Or if there's an accident,
But
breaks down.
you don't have to put you've got time. Okay?
I agree.
So I'm right with you. I can't think of any situation where I would have to get him out, with the one exception of being some kind of in the vehicle emergency like him.
What about any other kind of accident?
Yeah.
What if, a car hits behind, or that's the only time?
Yeah.
I reckon there's a good likelihood in those situations that Luke will want to exit the vehicle.
I agree.
Because he won't feel safe in it anymore.
Yeah.
With the jacked up, if you want to jack up the tire, I think he would respond if he was baseline or even just a little bit. He would respond to Lukey, there's a flat tyre. We're going to fix it. We just need to hop out and stand over here for a little bit. You can, you know, play with your Play-Doh.
And again, it's about what is next. That's what will escalate him. Not knowing what's next and time.
right.
How long will this take and what do I do? So having that backpack with the tools that we need for him is crucial, I believe. I think that backpack's going to be a bit of a magic bag, to be honest.
Okay.
It's important to be prepared for emergencies, but also remember that sometimes we might need to protect Luke from himself.
From a physical skills perspective, if he's engaging in self-injurious behavior in the van, how would you respond?
Words and invitations and prompts would be first.
Yeah.
If it was at the moment injurious behaviour, not building up to it, but you would have to consider pulling over, stopping.
We'd pull over straight away.
And going next to him and try and, if he's using his arms to hurt himself.
Okay. So that's what I want to practice next.
Okay, right.
Is sitting down next to him.
Yep.
He's right-handed, isn't he?
Left-handed.
He's left-handed?
Yep.
Okay. Does he generally use his left hand for self-injurious behavior? Or is he ambidextrous for that?
He doesn't.
Well,
he'll dig with both hands, and he'll sometimes hit himself, but it'll be at both.
He'll both.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't favour one or the other.
Isn't they were okay? So it's ambidextrous. Okay. So let's go back in the van. This time,
Do you want to just put 3 seats here, or do you want to actually do it in the van?
I'd like to do it in the van because seats you don't have the there's all kinds of stuff that gets in the way that doesn't get in the way here.
All right, no worries.
So
Here?
yeah.
Luke knows how to disengage the seatbelt very quickly, so
Okay.
and he might not want the door open at all.
Yeah.
So as soon as you open that, he might undo his seatbelt
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
come out.
And then come out.
Okay.
So
Or shut the door.
or
Yeah.
shut the door aggressively. Okay. If he comes out, I think that's positive because it's easier to deal with self-injurious behavior outside than it is inside.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So it could be that we want Luke to come out.
Yep.
Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay. So I think opening the door,
Yep.
and then if he does disengage, then I would get out of the way.
Yep.
And again invite Luke to go out, so that when he's out, you've got a better ability to respond to him. Okay?
Yep.
The internal stimuli is going to be gone, so there's a better chance that that's going to happen.
Okay. Yep.
Okay? So I think that's number one, is if we can get him out of the van, do it.
Yep.
But he's got to get out by himself. You can't get him out.
No, okay.
And he's engaged in self-injurious behavior. How would you get into the van to address his hands hitting himself?
Well, I do it from outside first.
Talk to
If
him.
I'm able to, just again maintain a neutral position. Body, the hands, etc.
All right. Go ahead and so get in there so you can hear him better.
You just say, "Hey, Ricky, just be calm with your body and be gentle with your hands." And what we quite often say is still body and calm voice.
Okay.
Still body and calm voice. That's what we'll try and do first. Is use more words.
Okay. Let's say that doesn't work. What's your next step?
Well, I'd have to. We need to plan how we get in and help him to stop using his arms.
Okay.
Do we need to?
That's a question. I don't know.
Because I believe if we were to offer him something that he really loves, he would still be really animated and distressed, but he wouldn't be harming himself because he'd be reaching out for the item that you have.
Right.
I think it very much depends on the level of harm that he's actually causing. If he's starting to cause himself to bleed, and I don't know how he responds to blood.
Yeah.
He usually just says, take the blood away or the scab away or whatever, or picks it off. I think that would be the best option,
Yeah.
I agree.
I think getting in would be... I think supporting Luke to actually inviting him to get out of the van would be far safer
I agree.
than us getting in.
Okay.
But the contingency is, what if he
Yeah.
doesn't, and we do need... The thing is, as you're sitting there, I can't do a side body hug very well from there. So
The way that I've done this with other people before is to look at this as a two-step process.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is I would get in and I'd sit in that seat. Okay. And then I would continue talking. And now you're a stimulus, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. So either Luke is going to attack you or he's going to get out here.
Someone else. Yeah.
Okay. So if he comes after you, the way that I would position my feet is I would have one foot there exactly,
Yeah.
so that you're able to look at this from a stance perspective. Now you're in a natural stance, 1 foot forward. When you had your feet together, you're in a natural stance.
Yeah.
In a natural stance, you can't move.
Move. That's right.
So always have your feet in either a natural stance, 1 foot forward, or a front stance. And in a front stance, you'd have half your body on the seat
Yeah.
and half your body. That's right.
Yeah.
And when he's really elevated in the lounge room,
Yeah.
watching TV,
Uh-huh.
and we realise he's starting to escalate,
Yeah.
I'll quite often move to the front of the seat and
Yes.
not sit
Get
back
ready.
Right.
and get my feet ready. Yeah.
And that's looking at stance from a position when the staff are seated.
Yeah.
And so you'll need to think through that process.
Yep.
So now you got into the van, and he's either going to attack you or escape this way. Okay. So either option, you're good, aren't you?
I'm semi-good with one of them, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. So you're semi-good with him coming out this way, coming at you. Remember, elbows in, hands up.
Yep.
Okay. So you can do the redirection
Yep.
as you move.
Yep.
Okay. So never have your hands down here. Always have your hands up here while you're talking, so that if one of those hands comes towards you, you're able to move.
Yep.
Okay. If a foot comes towards you, do not try to redirect it. Okay.
Yep.
Because you'll break your fingers. Yeah.
Yep.
So if foot comes towards you, you're going to get one kick, and then he's going to kick you once. Don't let him kick you twice.
Yep.
All right. So again, you're the stimulus. Get out of there. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I would. That's as far as I would go with Luke. Okay. And if he continues harming himself with his hands, the fact is, it's really, really, really hard to hurt yourself to a significant degree with just your
To your own
hands.
hands. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What exactly does he do with his hands? Does he hit his head and?
Or he'll hit his head on the thing at the back behind you, or
Yeah.
he'll, if you've got stomach pain, he'll go. Or
Yeah.
sometimes with his genitals, he'll hit them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, if he does abdominal strikes, you can hurt yourself abdominally with that. Head strikes, pretty. I mean, they're, hand to head.
Yeah.
No, I don't worry about that. Okay. Although I do have a client in America who's caused 2 concussions to herself because she headbutts and head strikes at the same time. And
Will Luke bite himself as well?
I've never seen him do it, so
no.
No, it's not a bite.
Bites of self tend to be pretty short duration. So if it's done to inflict pain, a couple seconds is how long it's going to be for the most part. People who bite longer than that have usually developed calluses, but that Luke isn't that person. So, from a physical perspective, the only reason I can think of to sit next to him is if he's doing stomach strikes continuously. Okay. And if you've gotten that far and he's still doing the stomach strikes, then we know that this stimulus is internal, not external. He's not paying attention to external stimuli. The internal stimuli is causing so much pain that he has to get in there. Does that make sense to you?
yeah.
Okay. So at that point, that's where I would move forward, and I'd move forward with your right foot so you slide towards him, so your back is never to him.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And your belt buckle's still facing
Yep.
him.
Yeah. And that's right. Belt buckles are always facing him, and then you're able to sit next to him, and now you can start with the non-physical. And so slide next to him, and start with non-physical, again, hands up, and non-physical, talk with him. the hand that may hurt you is not this hand, it's this hand. Okay? So the way to position your body would be to lean against him with your shoulder,
Okay.
and that takes care of this hand unless it comes out, and then he tries to elbow you, and again slide your body forward, okay, and that keeps the elbow from coming. Okay.
Okay.
So body positioning, you can prevent that hand from hurting you. That's the hand that might hurt you. That's what those hands are for.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where you would do the redirection. And again, when this hand you might touch comes up towards you, it's just stopping and then pushing down like that, which still traps that hand over there. So ergonomically, the safest thing to do is to hands down, but your thumb still touching, because you always want to have that bilateral integration, so you don't have to think about this stuff. Okay, so always down, elbows in. And then use your calming voice and your calming presence. And I say stuff like, "I'm so sorry that you hurt Luke. It must really be bad. I know. Is it a poo? Do you have to do a poo?" And so that soft, gentle, inviting kind of thing. We can get some. Does he take prunes or anything for
Yeah, we do have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll get some prunes here for you. We'll start this.
When we're sitting safely in the van, we must remember our body positioning and to always maintain a safe sitting stance. That means elbows in, hands up, and thumbs together. We can remind Luke to keep a still body and a quiet voice. And remember, with our calming voice, we can be Luke's soothing presence.